Hello. um, this that's me clipper board because this is take two. I cut the last one up. I do these videos in an attempt to catch the eye of a publisher or a literary agent. For the reason being, I would like to give Lee Rigby's son some money. To give the young lad a little bit of a start in life because he's had his arse kicked well and truly. First of all, I've got a couple of stories from a doorman, Danny, at the Langham. And the first one is he used to be at the Berners, and in 1989 there was a regular group of cabbies who used to service the rank. And he said that one of them was called Heart Attack Frank. And he said, I had to ask. He said, I was just an inquisitive young boy. And he said, was it called Heart Attack Frank? He said, well, ages ago, he was sitting on the rank on a Friday. And he was taken ill. And he said they all had the night off on the Friday and went up to the hospital to see him. He's had a heart attack. So he got tubes coming out of every orifice, even his arse. So, I don't think he had it coming out of his arse, but he said, I've had to remember this story, so you'll have to bear with me. So he said on the next day they've all met up in a cafe and they've had a collection for Heart Attack Frank, and they've got £1,100. So in 1987 or whatever it was, that's a hell of a lot of money, he said, and they've taken it up there, and good news, Frank's gonna be okay. And they've given him the money. Daddy says, and one of them went, oh, F me. On Monday morning, he was only on the rank at Heathrow. so and the last one, lots of people have obtained the nickname of Leather Arse. And he said that there was another cabbie there that spent more time in the cab than he did with his wife. And his nickname was Leather Arse, and she used to keep phoning him, asking him how much he's earned. And when she thought he'd earned enough, then he could come home. So next, in the cab, I've enjoyed learning how to say thank you in different languages. And words in one language, it means something in another. So I've picked up two Japanese blokes, and we were talking about words in one language that means something in another. And he said, my name's Ken. I said, well, that's not very Japanese. He went, yes, it is. He said, it's very popular, the name Ken, in Japan. He said that he had a business meeting in Israel, and they were walking, after they landed, he said, we're walking through the terminal. He said, and all the people on the phones going, Ken, Ken. And he said he kept looking, thinking, how do they know my name? He said that after about 7 or 8 times, he said, I stopped a bloke and said, what does Ken mean in Israeli? He went, yes. So I said, thank you and goodbye, Mr. Yes. I'm not running out of stories. I've got loads of stories to come. So the next one is from Steve Jenkinson. Steve said to me that he stopped for a bloke, and he said, just hang on a minute for my mate. And this bloke comes round the corner. He said, F me. He said, I've never seen a bloke as drunk as this man. And he said they both got in, well, fell in. And he said, we've just pulled away. And he said, I've jumped out the cab fuming. He said that they've both got out left and right. He said they barged past and sprinted off. He thought, I'm not having this. So he said, I drove about, but I had my light on. He said, and I drove about. He said, and the bloke who's puked up, he said, put his hand out for the cab. So he jumped in, told him where he wants to go. He went, remember me, do you? He said, when they first got in, there was £6 on the meter. When the police eventually got to his cab, there was £75 on the meter, and they also made the bloke pay a £40 soilage fee. And he said, for all what I put down, I could not get rid of the smell of the puke. Well, any cabbies who have had a puker, and we probably all have, a good way of getting rid of the smell of somebody's puke would be Zoflora, which is disinfectant, but rose Zoflora, and you get it in pound shops as well. It's very cheap. And one of the last ones today would be, I'm really not that keen on other cabbies getting. I do apologise. Somebody just walked past my cab. I've got a cockapoo and just walked past with a cockapoo, and a cabbie got in, and I was telling him I was gonna hopefully have a YouTube channel telling stories, and he said, I've come from a long line of cabbies. My heart sunk, because I don't like making a mistake, and we all make mistakes. And he said that his granddad was a cabbie in the 50s and 60s. He said he drove along. He said there was a bloke standing on the curb with his hands behind his back, and he leant forward in a very formal voice. He went, "Good evening, cab driver. I would like the Army and Navy Club, St James's Square, Mayfair." He said he got in. He said he was looking in the mirror at this bloke. He said, "Look, sir, you need to have served in the armed forces to get in the Army and Navy Club. What did you do?" He went, "I did a bit. I'm Field Marshal Berners Montgomery." And he said, my granddad said, there wasn't a word spoken after that. He said he was so embarrassed. So, look, I've got some nice emails saying to keep going. One or two people are enjoying it. I've got 31 subscribers now. So if you like what you're listening to, please press the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It takes you about 10 seconds. And it's very helpful. See ya.